Yeah, just on loneliness, you mentioned earlier on, Mr. Moynihan, you mentioned that you would love, or you tried, or you wanted to see if there was somebody kind of that you could talk to that would deal with loneliness in general for people. Can you say a little bit more about what you mean by that?
I think what I'd say to you is loneliness obviously is a complex issue across all age groups, and the reality is that it will take a range of psychosocial response from mental health professionals, but also from community groups, social activities, etc. So for us, we realise from all the research, and in fairness to the HSE, Department of Health, and the relevant ministers, people realise that this is an issue that needs to be addressed. The reality is we seem to get a little bit stuck there. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That we realise we have the evidence, but where do we go from there? So for us, we would recognise that the CMO recently on loneliness came out with an open letter, and we would recognise that that's really positive move, and the advertising. But the reality of it is it didn't really discuss the language we need to destigmatise loneliness. It's look, a third of the older people who come to us for services around loneliness. Imagine making that phone call and admitting that you're lonely. People, that's a really brave thing to do. So a bit like what we've done with younger people services, we really need to educate and work with older people and create the points at which they can reach out, rather than, at the moment, there's been a publicity campaign done just to say watch out for loneliness and re-engage, but really we need a strategy and a plan that covers all age groups and reaches further in.
And have you any idea, like how you would see that plan or strategy? Is there a model in other
I think what I'd say to you is in different parts of the world, as usual, there's different elements where people have taken on this challenge. And I think the reality is we can point where at one stage in England they launched a loneliness strategy. They've launched one, I think, in New Zealand as well. So the reality is we, there are places to learn from, there are policies to go from, but the reality is there is great knowledge within the system of the negative effects of loneliness. And there's great research out there. So the reality is we now need to move into implementation and creation of a plan to respond.
Thank you.